Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football Channel. And so we haven't done much on here. Been very busy, obviously. New surroundings currently. Bit of a pain. Again, next week, uploads and stuff on the go slow. Hopefully won't get any news of real note that we'll miss. But chances are, with the way things are developing, we will. Now, look, we've obviously, Dean Henderson has left. Valencia, here we go, has happened. I do plan to actually make videos independently on those, which will probably come out tomorrow. And so I don't really want to talk about those things too much now, because they've happened, and I've kind of missed the mark, kind of missed those already with just how busy I've been. But this is new, so we'll talk about this. And that is, if I flick over there, that David Ornstein has reported that Cristiano Ronaldo wants out of Manchester United. Now, David Ornstein has reported that Manchester United wants Manchester United forward Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave the club, according to Duncan Castles. So Duncan Castles reports it, sorry. He loves the club but wants to fight for top honours and play Champions League football, which he doesn't see happening at Manchester United. We need a young forward, all be good, trust the process. Now, what do we make of it? I mean, look, Cristiano Ronaldo undoubtedly scored a lot of goals for Manchester United last season, and many people have kind of put him on that pedestal of being our best player last season. And I think it is somewhat hard to disagree with that. He did score a lot of goals, but I'm of the mindset that Cristiano Ronaldo, while he did score loads of goals, I don't think he suits perfectly how an Erik ten Hag system plays. I think someone like a Martial, who I like, obviously I know a lot of people don't, I think he suits that system. And what I'm not saying Martial should be the number one option. We should put all our hopes on Martial. I think if you've got Martial, you let Ronaldo go, you bring in another striker. I think, especially for year one of this process, I think that's enough. Ronaldo is 37. I think he's getting older. He's not going to get any better than he is. I think that drop off from the Cristiano Ronaldo that everyone knows and loves has been clear over the last season. He's not as good as he once was. I think another Cristiano Ronaldo of 2 years would have scored more goals. Obviously, yeah, they've got, I assume you mean Christopher Nkunku. Yeah, Nkunku. I don't think we'll get Nkunku. I think Nkunku costs a lot of money, and to be honest, I wouldn't be going for him. Look, there's no doubt he did fantastically at Leipzig last season. I do just have I'm only slightly worried about him, given the fact this is his first year producing these sort of numbers. So, I mean, it's not unheard of for a striker to hit these sort of numbers and then absolutely fall off a cliff. I mean, Haaland's off to Dortmund, isn't he? Fabrizio Romano is also tweeted about Cristiano Ronaldo, saying he wants to leave the club. He wants to see more ambition. Man United are hopeful of keeping CR7, but are aware of decision. I don't know. That's not great English, is it? But aware of decision. And Cristiano has no agreement with any other club. Mendes explored options for weeks and will continue. So, look, as Ornstein reported there, or might have been from Duncan Castle, Napoli is a potential suitor. Would that suggest we could get do a deal with someone from Napoli? Obviously, they've got Victor Osimhen. Look, to get a Victor Osimhen into Manchester United, you're going to spend so much money, as well as giving them Ronaldo. But I don't think Ronaldo is someone is, yeah, I don't think he's a player that you certainly have to try and keep hold of and say, there's absolutely no way you can let this guy go. Obviously, when the news got broke, I saw, what's his name? I saw Mark Goldbridge tweeting and on the United stand saying, you cannot let Cristiano Ronaldo go. He's this, that, and the other. And I don't agree with that. I do think Cristiano Ronaldo is a sellable asset. I think, he's on 500k a week. You sell him for 15 to 20 million. You get that wage of the wage budget. And I think you can go reinvest that money. I don't see why you keep a Cristiano Ronaldo who is such an impact on the dressing room, who potentially is unhappy, who I don't think completely, who doesn't want to be here particularly, and doesn't really fit with that kind of Erik ten Hag style. Look, I do think Erik ten Hag is a versatile manager, and he can certainly get Cristiano Ronaldo to fit a system. But Erik ten Hag system at its best, I don't think has a Cristiano Ronaldo type striker. I do think it has someone more like somewhat out of our current squad, a Martial as a striker who will hold the ball up, who will look to give and go, where Cristiano Ronaldo kind of more wants to kind of stay in that box. He doesn't want to be dropping deep and playing this 1-2 touch football. He wants to be in the box, waiting for that ball to come in and just be scoring goals. Yeah, you're 40. You're 40 in October and Cristiano Ronaldo is 37. Now, I get you might not look after your body the same as Cristiano Ronaldo. But no matter how well you look after your body, at 37, you're going to be feeling it. And he can't continue. We're already discussed he can't play 3 games a week, which is what Manchester United will be playing. So, he's not going to be first team player all season. He's not particularly perfectly suited to a Ten Hag system. So, I'm not seeing many massive negatives to letting him go. Obviously, he's a fantastic player still. But he's only getting older. He's only going to get worse. He's on massive money. Let him go for me. Let him go. It's just about where he will go. And as you say, who do we bring in? Because, like I say, I do like Anthony Martial. Martial is not a striker we can depend on for goals next season on his own. Simple as that. While you can have Martial as a striker and as the first team striker, you need to have someone else. Now, that's where Manchester United's big issues coming from. Because we have so much business we want to get done. Obviously, we've got the Valencia deal all pretty much done. We want to get Frenkie de Jong done, which we will speak about in a moment. Where's the rest? What money do we have? Now, Richard Arnold came out and said, money's not an issue. So, 200 million we should have. So, with 200 million, then we've got enough money then to go sign a backup striker to Martial or a first team striker to play ahead of Martial. Either one. But, by the looks of it, we're not going to get Anthony because we haven't got the money. So, we can't afford Anthony. Then we don't have 200 million. So, how much money do we actually have to spend? Because that's going to be a real issue. I'm a Chelsea fan. Ronaldo can stay so far away from my club. I don't want him at all. And, obviously your new chairman wants him, don't they? Is it Todd Bowley or something like that? He wants Cristiano Ronaldo. And Chelsea fans clearly don't. I've always said about Chelsea. Well, I've always thought about Chelsea. And I kind of got... Obviously, when Lukaku signed last summer... I think everyone was going on, oh, he's going to be amazing. He's going to be amazing. And I'll admit, I got dragged into that kind of hype. I always thought that Chelsea's best team works when you've got when you had a front three of Havertz, Werner, and Mount, or 3 players of those ilk. Because, and if I go to, obviously this is for Manchester United. Let me just bring all those right to the back. Because what you add is that the ability to do this, where they can constantly be interchanging. They could all three of them could play in all three of the front forward positions, meaning, and they're all willing runners and could all, like I said, play all them perfectly and really, or at least very well. That it's hard for defenders to pick up when you have, let's say, Timo Werner playing off the left, Havertz playing as the striker, and Mount playing on the right. So, I mean, we'll get Bruno in, and we'll put Donny van de Beek in, just for the namesake. So, Bruno is Werner, Cavani's Havertz, Mount is Donny. If you have Donny or Mount moving over to the left, and then you have Havertz dropping to the right, and Werner, going through the middle, then you had Mount, who was originally attached to the left back. So we'll go with Alaba at Real Madrid. Well, now, if Alaba's either going to have to be drawn out of position momentarily while they swap, meaning the fullback can get forward and that creates loads of space for them, or just all these players aren't being picked up, meaning, obviously, they're going to be freer, they're going to be able to get hold of the ball, and with players like those who are winning runners and players that want to get in behind, and all three of these are good runners. They know how to create space, how to find space, how to attack space as well, and they're all winning finishers and winning runners. They will make these runs, and either who was Donny van de Beek was Mount. So either here in this situation, Mount will either have someone on him, which has created a space as he's dropped in, or he'll be completely free to try and pick a pass for one of these runners. I don't think Romelu Lukaku was that. And my issue, what's the word? I never particularly loved the idea of Chelsea signing Lukaku because of that. But because of all the hype, I kind of went, oh no, he's got to be great because he did so well in Serie A and whatever. And I do have the same kind of issue, I guess, with Cristiano Ronaldo, in the sense that he is very, very similar to Lukaku in that sense that he doesn't want to be particularly swapping positions, rotating constantly. He wants to be that kind of number 9, maybe playing off the left. And as such, I don't think he's a great fit for Chelsea. No, that's not true. Bodie met with Mendes, and that was to discuss Jorge's client. It's not known that Bodie wants Ronaldo. Oh, fair enough. Hello, Anonymous. How are we, mate? Only thing that Ronaldo can bring to our team is finishing, and that's it. I don't want him, 37, 38. He's not worth the wait and not worth the time. He'll be here 2 years max and will retire. Well, obviously, he wants to go back to Sporting Lisbon still, apparently, at some point, and kind of give his latter years to them. I don't know if that was a fake quote or whatever, but that's what I saw. So, look, I don't think that time is now for him. I do still think he has another big club in him. I think his best options really are PSG and Bayern Munich. Especially if Lewandowski leaves Bayern, I think Cristiano Ronaldo goes there, smashes it. I do not know, Anonymous, what are the similarities between those two. We're going for Sterling, Ake, De Ligt, Rafinha, and Dembele. If the Rafinha deal falls through, I would prefer. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would want Dembele over Rafinha. On this channel, I made a video of my forward targets. Ousmane Dembele was number 1 on that list. Free transfer. I think he's the best winger in the world football. Ousmane Dembele. I really, really do. He's absolutely unbelievable. I want Ousmane Dembele at Manchester United. If I was Chelsea, I would go all in for Dembele. I really like Raheem Sterling. I really do. Especially on the right-hand side. I think Sterling is quality. And I think, again, if you go back to what I was just saying about what Ronaldo and Lukaku aren't, I think Sterling is a player that has played as a striker, has played off the left, and has played off the right. I think he suits perfectly to what I see as Chelsea's best kind of system as a front three. I think the quality signing. I'm not 100% sure on Nathan Ake. I've got to say, I'm not a big fan. I remember at the start of the season, I was ripping into Pep for constantly playing Nathan Ake, and obviously we don't really speak about him now, but obviously Benjamin Mendy as well. I remember them two playing against Spurs, and I was like, "What is Pep doing? Pep, I remember tweeting because I was doing a watch along for it. Pep, you're not making yourself look like a tactical genius by playing two shocking defenders in Mendy and Nathan Ake. Obviously, Mendy is gone now, and I hope we never see him back in football for what he's done. Same goes to Greenwood, and that's all I'm gonna mention about him. I don't really know how I got there, but I mean, who do you actually think Ronaldo will go to if he leaves United? I think the main question is, do we actually see Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Manchester United? Because I really don't. I don't see it. I mean, unless Cristiano Ronaldo takes a massive wage decrease, who comes in for him? He's on 500k a week. Manchester United don't have to sell, so we can expect however much we want for him. I would sell him for 15-20 million. Obviously Manchester United will hold out probably for 40-50 minimum, because that's just who we are, really. But I think it would be worthwhile offloading him. I think a player with that much kind of impact on the dressing room and influence on the dressing room, if he's unhappy, that's just going to cause issues. And especially for a rebuild, which is what we are, we're again going into another rebuild, into another project where we're going to have to trust Erik ten Hag. I don't think you want personalities like a Cristiano Ronaldo unhappy. I think it's worth getting rid of him and just giving that money to Ten Hag to go sign somebody, and whether that's another striker or not. If anything, United fans should protest to get rid of Maguire ASAP. Harry Maguire, look. Now, I've always said Harry Maguire is a good centre-back. He had a horrific season, and I did rip into him. And make no doubts about it, Harry Maguire will almost certainly start for Erik ten Hag next season. I have no doubt Erik ten Hag will use Harry Maguire. I think if Harry Maguire was at Chelsea, he'd be unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I really do believe that. The problem with Harry Maguire is he can't play on the halfway line. For me, he can't play on the halfway line in a back four because he's not quick enough. He doesn't have that protection. You look at Thiago Silva in that Chelsea back line, not the quickest, and he's absolutely fine because he's got players there protecting him. But Harry Maguire in that Chelsea system where Thiago Silva plays, he's absolutely fine. I truly believe that. I think it might be an unpopular opinion, he'll be better than Thiago Silva. I'm sorry, mate. Did you just say Harry Maguire's a good centre? No, mate. No, he is. Last season he was absolutely horrific, and I said that. I was the first to slate him, but I think look. What I said about a lot of players last season, and look, people like to protect their favourites, with this idea that no one in that Manchester United team last season had any protection or consistency, and B, we don't even know what last season was. No one was consistent, so. We always go, the reason why Cristiano Ronaldo won at his best all the time, because if around him was inconsistent. Why? Why are we giving that for Ronaldo, for Pogba, for Bruno, for Sancho, for example, and then not for players like Harry Maguire? Because there were games Harry Maguire was great, and there were games, and especially last season, well, the season before last now, I guess, technically, Harry Maguire was fantastic for us, really. We missed him, according to a lot of people, at the end of 2 seasons ago, in the season we came second. So, I think there's a lot of inconsistency in that team. The defence will never truly protect him. When you have Fred and McTominay playing in front of you, you're always going to constantly concede chances. And eventually, you are going to concede because of those chances. And that's what we saw from Manchester United, realistically. Now, with a proper system in place, with proper players in front of that defence, I expect to see much better. And I think, like I say, you put him in that Chelsea team, Harry Maguire is fine. Maybe Tuchel kicked off at the likes of Christensen and Marcus Alonso. He definitely will at Maguire. I wholeheartedly believe Thomas Tuchel would love Harry Maguire. I mean, all the managers that have coached Maguire, they've all said he's great. That includes Ralph Rangnick. That includes obviously Ollie. Ten Hag has come in and obviously in his original press conference said Harry Maguire's a good player. Looks forward to working under him. I'm pretty sure Luis Enrique has spoken about Harry Maguire at some point. I can't remember for certain though. Pep Guardiola obviously wanted him. I have no doubts that Thomas Tuchel would use him. Obviously, yeah. I think James Tarkowski is a good transfer for Everton, Nico. I agree. Also, I think selling Richarlison to Spurs for 60 million is unbelievable business. Honestly, I believe that's unbelievable business. I don't think he's 60 million. You've actually made a profit from him. The fact you signed him 4 or 5 years ago for 40 million under Marco Silva. I think that's quality business. Maguire's good, mate. Not having it. Anyways, what Tigers are your clubs after? Well, actually, Chris, that has led us perfectly on to the next thing we wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about today. And I'll quickly find it. And it's this. Barcelona president Laporta on Frankie de Jong. There are many clubs that want him, not just Man United. We have no intention of selling him. He wants to stay. I'm going to do everything to keep Frankie de Jong, but there's also a salary issue that would have to be adjusted. So that suggests Manchester United's pursuit for Frankie de Jong is at risk. Now, Manchester United have been after the guy for the whole summer. And that's Erik ten Hag's main priority. He's wanted him since day dot. And we've been fucking around for 15 million euros. And by the sounds of it, now that Barcelona have sorted all their financial issues, obviously they've sold like 10% of their revenue for the next 10 years or something like that. Or 10 to 25 years or something mental like that. Now they've done that, apparently the club is... Well, they aren't in a situation where they need to sell Frankie de Jong. Meaning, Manchester United are in up shit's creek without a paddle. Now, it's important to remember, from what I can tell, Laporta was asked about Frankie de Jong. Now, Frankie de Jong is a fantastic player. Xavi has spoken about how he wants to keep him. There is absolutely no way Laporta was ever going to come out and say, yeah, we're looking to sell Frankie de Jong. That was never going to happen. So, I think you've got to take kind of this sort of statement with a pinch of salt, knowing there is absolutely no way anyone was ever going to come out and say they want to... No club president is going to come out and say they want to sell a player that the manager has openly said he wants to keep. That being said... I wouldn't surprise me if they want to keep him. they've got the money now. They don't, by the sounds of it, they don't have to sell him, so they can play a bit more hard bargain. But like I say, take it all with a pinch of salt. They are still in financial issues. They've still got players they want to sign, in the likes of Robert Lewandowski for one. He has mentioned that salaries would have to be adjusted. So would suggest A, he would need to take a wage cut, or B, they are open to selling him for financial reasons, which is what Xavi said months ago about Frenkie de Jong. He's a great player, but there are financial aspects that needs to be taken into consideration, and that looks like it's going to be the case. If Frenkie de Jong is to stay, financial consideration will have to be taken into the financial issues will have to be taken into consideration. Meaning, Frenkie de Jong, there's £60 million there. Sell him. That's it. That frees up a lot of money. Yeah, they made a profit, but the fact they sold him for £60 million in today's market is poor. Their best player, and it's clear Richarlison had no ambition. I don't think Richarlison is all that, to be honest. I mean, look, he's a good player. There's no doubt he's a good player. I don't think he's £60 million worth. I like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think that what's his name? Gordon, not Craig Gordon. What's Gordon's name? Is it Anthony Gordon? Yeah, Anthony Gordon. I think he looks quite good. I think there's good players out there. And for £60 million, Richarlison is replaceable. I really do believe that. The facts are, if you buy De Jong, that funds their move for Rafinha. We agree, a fee for Rafinha. So let's see. Well, exactly. Barcelona want to make transfers, and the facts are they don't have the money to sign Rafinha, to sign Lewandowski for 30 million, Rafinha for about 60. Great good quality song. But yeah, they need money, Barcelona. Whether or not they've sorted for like the fact they've got Christensen, they've got Kessie coming in on frees, they have still got to create and generate revenue to sign players for fees. That money can come from a sale for Frenkie de Jong, a player who, especially now, I don't think they particularly need. They've got Kessie and Busquets to play that deeper role. They've got Gavi. They've got Pedri to play in a more kind of advanced midfield role. I'm sure there's other players I'm forgetting about at Barcelona. I mean, they've got Pjanic technically still, don't they? I'm pretty sure. Obviously, if they decide to play number 10, like a Memphis Depay can play at number 10. They've got Nico as well. But they've got plenty of players. So I think it does make sense for Barcelona to sell Frenkie de Jong. Laporta also said this: Frenkie is considered as one of the best midfielders in the world by all the experts. We are happy to have him. Which says they don't, again, saying they don't want to sell him, but it's kind of saying, well, to me, in a sense, that's actually positive for United. Because to me, that sounds like someone who is saying, Frenkie de Jong's fantastic, but situation Manchester that we as a club are in, aka Barcelona, we need money. So we're not saying he's terrible, but we might have to sell him, and that's not because we don't see him as a good player, if that makes sense. Because why else would he then go and say, "Oh, he's unbelievable. We're happy to have him here." Of course, you're happy to have him here. So it's weird. It's like one of those things where that is just expected, isn't it? Oh, that you're happy to have a player. So the fact that you've gone out your way to kind of reassure people and kind of make that comment suggests that maybe there's something's going to happen that would go against that, potentially. They've been linked with players they simply can't afford. That can only pay in installments, which clubs won't accept. Clubs want money up front and not a 3-year payment plan. Exactly. And how do they get that money? By selling Frankie de Jong. It goes full circle, doesn't it? It goes full circle. You want a player, you got no money. What do you have to do? Sell one of your better players. But what I don't get about Barcelona, what I'll do is I'll get their squad up. Well, exactly. I mean, I don't know how much money they're actually going to make from shit like that, to be honest. But look, so if I open this up. There you go. So this is their player list. So now, like, all right, Ousmane Dembele, we don't know what's going to happen with it. I don't know. If Ousmane Dembele re-signs for Barca, because obviously, I believe he's technically now a free agent, do they go get Rafinha still? I'm not sure. But you look at that forward line for Barcelona. Aubameyang, Ansu Fati. Obviously, Adama Traore is no longer there. Memphis Depay. Ferran Torres, who they just spent like, what, 50 million on. They've got... I swear they had more. Maybe I'm... Well, that's 4 then, isn't it? Does Griezmann come back? Griezmann might come back. We'll say Ousmane Dembele stays, because it'll be Dembele or Rafinha. They've got 5 forwards there. Now, would they be willing to offload Depay? Because that's 15 million, 15, 20 million. And then that could then help fund a... What's it called? A move for a what's his name? What's his name? Lewandowski. But even with kind of a simple deal like that, Ousmane Dembele leaving on a free is massive. Because to replace an Ousmane Dembele with a player of similar ability, you're looking at 70 million. 70 to 80 million. That money won't appear with this squad. You look at that squad. Obviously, Dembele's on a free. Gavi, he ain't going to leave Barcelona. Him and Pedri, I just see Xavi and Iniesta. And, well, I guess Busquets as well. Aubameyang, you ain't going to get anything really for him, and I don't think anyone comes in for him. Fati, I don't see him leaving. PK, you're going to sell him if you're going to sell him for anything, for pittance. Adama Traore leaves. Araujo, maybe you could get some money for. I think he's a good up-and-coming centre-back. Depay, like I said, it's about 15, 20 million max. Ferran Torres, they're not going to sell and no one would come in for him, especially for the price they paid for him. Alves is gone. Luke de Jong's gone. No one's going to come for Stegen. I don't think they'd sell him. Puig goes for 10 million probably. Dest, not much more. Busquets won't leave and they won't get any money for him. Nico, sort of similar to Xavi, to Gavi, and Pedri. I don't see him leaving. Roberto, no money. Longley could be leaving for 5 million next summer. Like, this squad is done. Like, there's no money there. The only valuable assets in this squad are Pedri, Frankie de Jong, Gavi, and Dembele was there long term, him. I don't look at that squad and think these are players you're going to get big fees for. And as such, if they want to go, if they are going to lose Dembele and they're going to want someone to replace him, they're going to need to get rid of somebody, and that's Frankie de Jong. Because I think they've got midfield cover in the likes of Pedri, Gavi, Nico, Sergi Roberto, Puig, Busquets. Obviously, depending on what formation they play, you can look at a Memphis Depay. You can look at a Ferran Torres playing as that number 10 if they play a 4-2-3-1. So I think they've got options in midfield, but you lose Dembele. I don't see a natural winger to replace him who's at the level of an Usman. I really don't. And obviously that would be Rafinha. PK needs to help pay his divorce, so he's definitely staying. Hashtag Shakira. I mean, PK's fucking minted, isn't he? Because he's like part of like deals that takes the Copa del Rey final to fucking Qatar and Saudi Arabia. So PK's not in any sort of financial troubles. But as we get closer to 9 o'clock, that is where I'm going to end this stream today. So just kind of quickly go and reiterate for those who are new and missed the start of the stream. Cristiano Ronaldo wants out of Manchester United due to a lack of ambition from the club, both in the transfer window. By the looks of it, we're gonna fail to get Jurrien Timber. Look like we're gonna fail to get Frenkie de Jong, and Valencia is coming probably 2 weeks too late, given when we first were linked to him. And like I said, a Frenkie de Jong deal looks like it's in trouble. Now, like I said, thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. Tomorrow I should be uploading 2 videos. That will be about the Valencia transfer and the here we go, and the fact that Dean Henderson has left on loan to Nottingham Forest. Those videos will just kind of be to catch up for stuff I had missed over the last few days, where I've been traveling on holiday and so on. So that's just catch up. So nothing breaking will be coming in those videos most likely, but those will be out tomorrow. So feel free to watch those when they come out tomorrow, I guess. Anyway, like I said, let me end this. For those who are going to go watch Love Island like me, enjoy yourselves. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.